Do you struggle with getting organized? Well, you're in luck because today we're going to talk about the 8 steps to organize a space here on Get Organized with Jodi. Hi, I'm Jodi Granock. I'm a certified professional organizer with over 15 years in the field. And starting an organizing project can feel overwhelming, especially if you don't know where to begin. A lot of people waste time just moving things from one place to another because they're not thinking about planning out an organizing project. So, by following these 8 simple steps, you're going to be able to make decisions more easily, stay focused, and create systems that are easier to maintain. So, you ready? Here are the 8 steps to organize a space. The first step is to choose your project. Before you begin, you need to choose a project that you can reasonably get done in one session whenever possible. So instead of trying to do an entire room, think about a single drawer or a shelf or a category of items like a closet. That's often a better way to go about it. So once we've chosen our project, the next step is to gather it all up and take it all out. Now, it depends on the type of project. You may either need to empty the area or get all the similar items together in one place. So if you take everything out, you're going to need space to review the items. And it doesn't matter, any surface area will do, whether it's the floor, the bed, the dining room table, as long as that area is free of clutter so that you can take a look at all the things that you're dealing with. And then the next step is to stay put and start sorting. So as you're sorting through items, you want to group the similar items together. If you find something that you want to keep, but it doesn't belong with this project, we want to put it in a pile marked Go somewhere else until we're done with the current project because we don't want to get distracted like our friend Billy here from the family circus that was always in the comic strip given a time sensitive project and he would get distracted going through the house getting caught on lots of different things. And you don't want to do that. When you're working on an organizing project, you want to stay in the room that you're working on. So that's why we need that pile called Go Somewhere Else. And speaking of piles, that leads us to our fourth step. So we're going to be making piles and making decisions. We're going to start sorting items into 4 different piles. So, of course, we have the keep pile. That's pretty obvious. And then we have the pile where it's not going to stay in our house anymore. We're either going to donate it or give it away or maybe sell it. The third pile is it's leaving our house, but it's not really good enough for anybody. So we're either going to throw it away or recycle it. And then the fourth pile, as we talked about, is the go somewhere else pile to keep us from getting distracted so that we could stay in the room that we're working on. Now, if you're not sure whether to keep or give something away, you can use a holding bag or a holding box. So, this is putting things off to the side, labeling it with a decision date. So, if you haven't needed it or thought about it by that date, it's usually a sign that you're ready to let it go. So, for example, you can have a bag of maybe toys that is stored in the basement where your kids can't find it for 3 weeks. And then you can see if your child is missing any of those items. If they ask for it, you can go quote unquote find it when they're not around, right? But if you've gone 3 weeks and they haven't asked for anything that you put into this holding bag or box, it's usually a safe bet that they're not thinking about it anymore and it's okay to let it go. Now, when we're making these decisions and doing our piles, sometimes it's easy to know the things we want to keep and the things we want to let go of, but sometimes we not might not be certain about whether we want to keep something or not. So step 5 is there's a series of probing questions that you can ask yourself to help you try to make a decision about these items. Do I need it? And when I say do I need it, I mean, does it serve my current life? Not, oh, this would be good to keep maybe for someday. No, does it serve my current life is the question when I say do I need it? The next question is, do I love it? And another way to look at that is, does it make me happy? Because you may have acquired things because someone gave it to you as a gift or an inheritance, but if you don't love it, it's not a reason to keep it. Would it make someone else happier? So maybe we feel just kind of lukewarm about something. Yeah, I like this, but you're still not really using it. But if you knew that somebody else could benefit from it right now, if it would make someone else happier, that might be what you need to motivate yourself to let it go. If I didn't already own this item, would I buy it again today? So that has to do with the question of, well, maybe I don't love it, but I spent a lot of money on it. No. Ask yourself this question, right? Would you buy it again? And if you wouldn't, you don't need to keep it. Are there legal or financial reasons why I need to keep it? It may not love my mortgage paperwork, but it's important that I keep a record of it, right? And what's the worst thing that would happen if I let this go? There's a saying that if you can replace something in less than 20 minutes for less than $20, don't sweat the small stuff. But if you're still unsure about whether or not you should keep something, even after you asked all these questions, then go ahead and use that holding bag or box and revisit the decision later. All right, the next step, after we've gone through all of our items and we've decided what we want to keep, now it's time to start putting it where it goes. So, step 6 is to store it where you use it. So, being organized is all about creating designated homes for your belongings so you can quickly find what you need when you need it. And when you're thinking about where you should store something, you want to base it on how frequently you use it. So the more you use an item, the closer it should be on hand, right? So think about snacks on that kitchen counter. But the things that you use less often can be higher up on a shelf or further back in a cabinet, like the fancy stemware that you see on the top of that cabinet on the right. Even after we've put everything away, we are still not done organizing a space because part of being organized is being able to then stay organized. So the seventh step is labeling. Labeling is so important. I wrote it 3 times. Label, label, label. Even if it seems completely obvious to you, labeling areas helps everyone, whether it's in your home or your office, understand the system you've created and be accountable for maintaining it. So, no more hearing your spouse say, well, honey, I can't put the groceries away because you have a system and I don't understand it. Or your kids won't throw their toys into the closet or just stuff them under the bed when you ask them to clean up. Labels not only help everyone find things, but they also make it easier to return everything to its proper home. And our last step is to maintain your success because organization is not a one-time event. We don't live in a bubble. It's not going to stay that way. Life keeps going, and being organized is an ongoing habit. So plan on spending a few minutes each day or each week just returning items to their designated homes and reviewing the areas that tend to collect clutter. Doing small maintenance sessions will prevent clutter from building up and keep your organizing project from becoming overwhelming again. So remember, being organized doesn't mean that you have to be a perfectionist, right? Just start with one small project, follow the process, go through the steps, and then celebrate your progress. Small, consistent efforts can lead to lasting results and having a home or office that feels calmer, more functional, and easier to maintain. And doesn't that sound like some organizing magic? Well, I encourage you to visit organizingmagic.com for more organizing resources, including our free e-newsletter and information about our monthly Zoom webinars, which are also free. And remember that new videos drop every Friday, so be in the know and click like and subscribe before you go so you never miss a single video. I'll see you next time.